Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Thank you, guys. What a fantastic start to our 2018 Breakfast by the Sea. A very good morning, everybody. I'm Minty from 4TO FM. We've got Rebecca Hoover here from YWAM as our co-host this morning. Very excited to see everybody join us for what is going to be a magnificent morning. Very exciting. Just quickly before we start, we'd like to pay our respects to the traditional owners of the land in which we stand this morning, the Wulgurukaba and Bindal people. Very good morning to you, Rebecca.
Good morning. What a fabulous start. The flags you saw represented this morning are from the 29 nations represented here this morning. So it's so wonderful to have you here. We have a number of acknowledgements and special guests here, and I'd like to let you know who they are. The Honorable Charles Abel, PNG Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Treasury. The Honorable Dr. Supuka Temu, Minister for Health, HIV, and AIDS, Honorable Dr. John McVeigh, Minister for Regional Development, Territories, and Local Government, representing the Honorable Malcolm Turnbull, Ms. Kathy O'Toole, Federal Member for Herbert, Honorable Warren Ench, Federal Member for Leichhardt, the Right Honorable Sir Robbie Namalu, PNG Patron for YWAM Medical Ships, Bishop Timothy Harris, Catholic Diocese of Townsville, Bishop Bill Ray, Anglican Diocese of North Queensland, Reverend Bruce Cornish, Councillor Liz Schmidt, Mayor of Charters Towers, several Townsville City Council councilors, and some YWAM international leaders from around the world, including John Dawson and Tom Hallis. We've also got many of our key supporters who you've seen represented here. That's the Government of Papua New Guinea, Australian Aid, Puma Energy, Henry Schein Hallis, and Network Communications. Thank you for being here. And a couple of apologies. Councillor Jenny Hill, Mayor of Townsville, and Mr. Scott Stewart, Member for Townsville, were both unable to make it. We also have apologies from Honorable Mike Reynolds, who is our Australian patron for YWAM Medical Ships. And we really want to congratulate Mike, even though he's not here today. This week, he was awarded the honor of the Commander of the British Empire in the Queen's Birthday Honors for promoting relations between Queensland and Papua New Guinea, including as Mayor of Townsville and as patron for the YWAM Medical Ships program.
I know he's not here, but we should give him a big round of applause.
Absolutely.
That is a fantastic honour. And while we're at it, a big thank you to all of our table hosts for today. Without you guys, we couldn't put on a morning like this. It is so big. Look at the amount of people here. A big round of applause for all of our table hosts today.
That's right. We're so grateful that you're all here. And a few tips to make you comfortable this morning. Breakfast is being served now. If you need to use the restrooms, you can head to the back of the marquee and our ushers will help you, direct you to those. If there's any emergency today, just to my right, your left, and the door you came in are our 2 emergency exits. And if you're able to stay afterward, we'd love to show you around. We have not done this breakfast here before.
Yeah.
And we'd love to show you around and share a little bit more about what's happening behind the scenes.
Now, Breakfast by the Sea. That suited last year. We were Breakfast by the Sea. We were down at the water with the YWAM medical ship. I thought about it. It must be C, like a capital C for Breakfast by the City. The C for City. Is that where we're working this year?
I like it.
Because it is an opportunity to, last year, as I said, we got to have a look at the ship. This year, the facility here is something very special. I mean, this is a very historic piece of real estate in Townsville.
It is.
And what you guys are able to do, YWAM, here in the city at this location, is fantastic. And probably not a lot of people in the room know too much what goes on.
That's right. So we have a registered training organization operating out of here. All of the operations for what you know happens in Papua New Guinea happens out of here, and a ton of work, youth work. So a lot of the volunteers you see around are some 200 international students living right here and studying here in Townsville.
And the great thing is we get to see a lot of them today. Give them all a big round of applause. They are a great bunch. And again, you can't do a morning like this without them. Today, something very, very special. This is about helping to network, get together, but also to raise funds to help strengthen communities. And that's what we're here to do today. We'll have the opportunity to help train and equip our healthcare workers who are out on the coalface, putting in the hard yards. They are people that are making a difference. And trust me, we're going to show you that this morning. Also, we'll have that opportunity to hear their stories and support them in the work that they do. So today, you have that opportunity here at our Breakfast by the Sea.
That's right. There's so many creative ways to get involved, and we're looking forward to sharing that with you this morning. But now we're going to welcome not our international nearest neighbor, but our neighbor on the block next door, Bishop Tim Harris, to say a blessing for this morning. Please make him welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I consider it a great privilege to speak with you on this occasion. Ever so briefly, there's a clock started now. I offer a prayer and blessing over the people of Townsville, Papua New Guinea, and the work of YWAM Medical Ships. I must say that in the typical YWAM community embrace, one of my first visits as the new Bishop of Townsville a year ago was to meet Ken Mulligan and the YWAM family here in this very place. I was overwhelmed by the welcome, and I had the sense that these people are fair dinkum in their care for the most vulnerable in the world. The YWAM community literally practice what they preach. The energy and genuine enthusiasm for the great cause is significant. The funding absolutely amazing, and the goodwill palpable. They put Townsville on the map, and what's more, they give Christianity, in my view, in the best sense of the word, a very, very good name. My friends, I've only recently returned from Papua New Guinea, where I spent 10 days with the Catholic bishops of Oceania. Cardinal John Rabat, the Cardinal Archbishop of Port Moresby, has nothing but praise and gratitude for the work of YWAM. When I was with him, we talked at length about YWAM's truly remarkable endeavours, helping so many people in a part of the world that deserves our attention and neighbourly outreach. The facts are that PNG is Australia's nearest international neighbour. PNG is a nation where I think 43% of the population is under the age of 15, and we're told that 1 in 4 Papua New Guinea children will not live to celebrate their 40th birthday. I've learnt that delivering basic services in PNG poses enormous challenges, with 84% of the population living in remote rural areas. There's a lot of rugged terrain, as I discovered, not from documentaries or pictures, but from actual experience. Rugged, but I must say, very, very beautiful. This terrain and complex river systems obviously creates many challenges for communities and people in terms of providing services. All human beings rely on services of one kind or another, and the tyranny of isolation and the cost of government, or rather cost to government, to provide such services means many live in poverty and hardship. I saw that for myself. It seems to me that for these and for other reasons, our presence here this morning makes so much sense. Simply by being here, we lend our support to YWAM medical ships and those who sail on them. YWAM ships and personnel help overcome the challenges of the tyranny of isolation, providing communities with medical specialists, supplies, health services, and mentoring and support for rural health workers. Quite frankly, YWAM changes lives and values the dignity of each person who Christians believe are made in the image and likeness of God. And by implication, we say that God does not make rubbish, which necessitates laying down one's life in the service of others. I've learned in my short association with YWAM that they do not count the cost of that self-giving, but treasure the knowledge that humanity has been restored. You see, it works in both ways. Those who serve and those who are being served both win. Such are the benefits of involving oneself in the lives of our brothers and sisters. May the fruits of youth with a mission, medical ships, continue to flourish, and may we join as one this morning in the adulation this group deserve as they quietly and without fanfare touch and heal our fellow flesh and blood in the name of Christ and his mission of restoration and love. Let us pray. Merciful God, we thank you for calling us to continue your work of bringing healing to your people. We ask you to bless the work of those who work together in your name, and we pray that we may grow in the unity of our triune God. Give your special blessing to YWAM as they minister healing, especially to the people of PNG. We thank you, nourishing God, who give us this food to eat. We pray that you may also provide food for those who are hungry and gather all of us together at the table of your heavenly kingdom. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Thank you very much, Bishop Tim. We very much appreciate you being here today and to get us underway for our breakfast by the sea. How good are these guys? You hardly even notice they're there, which is fantastic. We're going to have a little bit of entertainment for you to enjoy your breakfast to get us underway this morning. When we started proceedings today, the amazing Doug McClure joined us to do the Australian and Papua New Guinean national anthem. He's going to join us for a little bit to provide some entertainment. And Rebecca, he's doing some pretty amazing things in Papua New Guinea.
Doug is absolutely inspirational. He started an organization called Symphony of Hope, and they actually teach classical music to children who don't have access to it via the internet. So for the last year, they've had 50 students in Alotau, Papua New Guinea, learning the violin. They're expanding to Port Moresby and Lae this year, and
Wow.
they've been invited to come and play at the UN General Assembly.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. I bet those kids are going to have a wonderful time.
I think they will. So that's just one of 24 programs running in Alotau at our Youth Empowerment Center there in Milne Bay Province.
Something very special. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your breakfast. Feel free to network and enjoy the wonderful music from Doug McCure. Ladies and gentlemen, we certainly hope you're enjoying our Breakfast by the Sea for today. Please continue to enjoy. For most of us, we would know YWAM through their work with the ship, of course, that does incredible work in Papua New Guinea. But YWAM also does a lot of great work here in our city. YWAM has been helping our city for 26 years now. And probably what you don't realise is it's entirely funded locally. So the money raised locally stays locally for the work that is done locally and, of course, into PNG. And even the managing director has to obtain sponsorships to do his job, which is fantastic. So your donations are going straight to the needs on the ground. Now, they've been doing youth work, to training, supporting local events and assisting in natural disasters, as I said, for 26 years now, which is quite exceptional. There are some 300 volunteers per year. In 2015 alone, YWAM's donated time and labour in the North Queensland region was estimated at $21.6 million. That is pretty amazing, don't you think? That information comes from a report from the AEC group. So that's a major investment into our community. A lot of time and effort spent by these wonderful people doing incredible work here and, of course, in Papua New Guinea. Now, you probably don't realise exactly the extent of what YWAM does because in most cases, they just get in there and do the job. What we wanted to do while you're having your breakfast this morning is show you a little bit about what YWAM have been doing and how it's all been happening here in Townsville for a long time. Let's have a look at the big screens.
For the first number of years, we operated out of one house. When we moved from Brisbane and this handful of people and the teamwork that was involved to see it all grow was quite phenomenal, the personal sacrifice.
We didn't even know what would be in the fridge, sometimes week to week. That was just such a confronting environment.
So we moved to Townsville with a heart to reach isolated places. It was the core underlying passion that we had to see the gold within Australia dug out and shine. Little did we know that that would go so much broader and so much further to tiny little villages in the remotest parts of PNG. So from that little seed of a passion to overcome isolation, it really has grown to far more than we could ever have hoped or dreamed or imagined.
12 years ago we decided that our son should have an involvement with a group that was dealing with youth from a much wider social perspective than what he was getting from school. And we found out that Youth with a Mission had a Friday night youth program. And so we enrolled our son Adam. Over the next 6 months we got to know Robin and Ken and really were blown away by where their hearts were placed in trying to help Townsville and help the youth of Townsville and the youth of North Queensland. And I knew nothing about YWAM and was really surprised how few people in the business community did.
And he talked to me about a dream of a ship, coming to Townsville and then going to Papua New Guinea. I thought, gee, that's an excellent dream. About a year later, we were welcoming the YWAM Pacific Link into the city.
I thought it was inspirational for our staff and our dentists to be able to join me in our vision and YWAM in delivering wonderful health outcomes to those very nearby in medical, dental, optical areas, just to really make a difference.
At that time, the government had decided to vacate a historic building for the city of Townsville. So the council bought the building on the off chance that we might get a tenant. And I actually offered it to YWAM. I said, why don't you go have a look and tell me what you think? They went away and said no, and then they thought about it and came back and said yes.
And I remember when we first walked around these premises where everyone is today, we thought that it would take us 5 or 10 years before we'd be able to use any real portion of it. And here we are now, having filled this.
The people of Townsville now join with YWAM in the pride of having our ship based here at our port, and this has been seen as one of the most innovative projects in Townsville.
Every community needs great education, needs great culture and arts. It needs to have a giving heart and a giving hand to be able to say that we are the home of an organisation that can go out as it does and achieves what it does for our neighbours and our surrounding communities. Adds another dimension to our community that we can all be proud of.
The work that YWAM's doing here in this city in North Queensland, the work and the giving is making a difference to this city, to the young people, the community, the very fabric that puts this city together.
$22 million a year in services on a peppercorn charity is just amazing. Every time I think that they've achieved the most amazing heights and overcome the most amazing hurdles, Ken will roll another plan out on his desk and say, you know, Peter, I was thinking, hilarious. Watching how some amazing people can achieve things where physical parameters would say those things would be impossible.
Here we are in this beautiful facility in town, and we do have a ship. But I'm not satisfied from where we are in one sense, because I continually get reminded of the opportunity and needs that are very real. And one of my great desires is actually, let's work with friends and see what we can do together.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. It is an incredible story. You know, I've got to say, I feel very honoured to have worked with so many of those incredible humans on that video for a period of time, and they are absolutely special people. And probably for me, the one thing, Rebecca, that stands out, they're people that don't go around waving flags to say, look at me, this is what I do. They get in and do the hard yard. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Quite incredible people doing amazing work. And that's what YWAM is all about. And of course it continues. Yolandi Ench is with us. Hello, welcome to you. Stand up. We don't just hide down the front. She is our Cairns ambassador and is doing a wonderful job in Cairns at the moment, gathering sunglasses to be used in Papua New Guinea. The target is 5,000. 1,000 are in already, which is wonderful. Today, though, we're going to throw that challenge to Townsville. We want to see how we can go with that. We've got some local school students who are going to help us. You can tell us more, Rebecca.
That's right. Come on up, you guys. We have students here from Kerwin State High School. They've been your ushers this morning. They're getting ready to go on the ship later this year, actually. So they're in for a big adventure, going up to CPNG for the first time. But they're here to announce, they've been busy, our school ambassadors have been busy in their schools across Townsville, collecting toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, which is much needed on board the ship. And we are partnering with Woolworths and 1-300 Smiles to put these collection boxes in every Woolworths store around the city. You can do your shop, get a few extra, put them in, and we will take them on board the ship next month.
That is fantastic. Give these kids a big round of applause. And the fantastic organisations getting behind this. Once again, it all helps. Every little bit helps. And I think the important part of an event like this is to make you guys aware, because you can go out and tell people that you work with, that you socialise with, the work that's being done and how easy it is for you to support YWAM. Every little bit helps, Rebecca. And, you know, we're going to talk about that a lot through the morning. We want that message to be spread by everybody, don't we?
That's right. We're going to take a quick look at a video now to show you just exactly what those supplies will do up in PNG.
Let's have a look.
My name is Victor. I come from Papua New Guinea. I love my country. It is so beautiful and so diverse. We are known as the land of the unexpected, the least explored country on earth. We are made up of many different tribes, each with their own traditions. Me and my people live in villages. We live in high mountains, jungles, rivers, and the coast. Though we have much beauty, we are facing very big healthcare challenges. Many of our women die in childbirth. We have one of the highest rates in the world. TB has been declared as a national emergency. Our children are dying of preventable and treatable diseases. Many of us will never see a dentist in our lifetime. Hundreds of thousands of people have low vision or no vision at all.
Makasi had been blind for 10 years. Her and her family heard about the ship being in their area and paddled in their canoe for 2 weeks to see if there was anything that we could do for her eyesight. After a 45-minute operation, her sight was restored to perfect vision. She saw her 3 children for the very first time that day. She went from someone that was downcast, that had no hope in her face, to someone that had light in her eyes, someone that had hope and excitement for her future.
It's so amazing what happens when the ship first comes into the village. All the men, the women, the children, they all gather along the shores and they start singing, start dancing. The ship is more than bringing healthcare. It's really bringing life and really giving them hope for the future.
On board the ship, we have a day surgery unit, a laboratory, dental clinic, and lecture theatres, which allows us to bring specialized care right there to the people in the community, in the villages.
It is a partnership in the true sense, in that it is helping to assist and support and promote what is already contained in our National Health Plan, and working very much in collaboration with the existing health system.
The training element of the medical ship is very, very important. What that does, especially our health workers working in remote settings and those difficult settings, it empowers them, it strengthens them. It gives them that someone does care.
I've been involved now for over 30 years, and really it comes back to we want to help people, and so many people don't have the opportunity to have basic health care or training, and it's just such a privilege, because the true value, the true resource, the true gold that's within the nation of Papua New Guinea is its people.
My dream, I want to be a nurse. I want to help my people in this district and country.
One of the things I love most about the work of the ship is seeing young Papua New Guineans engaged. Seeing young, passionate Papua New Guineans from urban centres able to come out into a rural context, building their nation.
When I think of the message I want to live, it's like me liking life. I want life, and for you and for me is to have life and live it to the fullest.
We look despair in the eye and we say, you do not have the final word. We're people who have our fingerprints on a torch of hope. That's Papua New Guinean fingerprints, Australian fingerprints, fingerprints from all around the world that press forward because we want to live.
So arise, all ye sons of his land. Let us sing of our joys to be free. Papua New Guinea.
I'm not sure about you, but that's kind of goosebump stuff. You get the goosebumps and the hair on the back of your neck stands up when you see that extraordinary work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our next guest speaker. The Honourable Dr. John McVeigh is Minister for Regional Development, Territories and Local Government, this morning representing the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull. Please give him a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can I acknowledge Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Treasury, the Honourable Charles Abel, of course the Minister for Health, the Honourable Sir Pukatemu, Sir Rabi Namalu, various parliamentary colleagues, particularly Cathy O'Toole, the Federal Member for Herbert, and my good mate Warren Ench here as well, the Federal Member for Leichhardt. Bishop Tim and I were chatting over breakfast very briefly about connections. And so many of us in this room, in this region, in this beautiful part of the globe that we call the home of Australia and PNG, have connections, have so many friendships. For me, it's great to be here, not that I've caught up with her yet. Another good friend of mine, Councillor Liz Smith, Mayor of Charters Towers, and of course some councillors here from Townsville City Council as well. Now I stumbled then and said Toowoomba because Toowoomba's where I'm from, and there are many connections between this beautiful city and my city, including the education opportunities, and of course Charles and Sir Rabi and I were chatting about just that. Members of their family, including Sir Charles himself, Charles Abel himself, studying in Toowoomba all those years ago. And it's a great thrill to be here too because Townsville is such a special place for me. My wife and I were married here
Bishop Tim, by your predecessor and my wife's uncle, the late Bishop Michael Putney. Very special man to all of us. But here this morning, we're here to recognise the contribution that Youth with a Mission, YWAM, medical ships make to the delivery of healthcare services in Papua New Guinea. And acknowledge, of course, the employees and the many volunteers that make this movement such a success, ladies and gentlemen. It's also an opportunity, of course, for us to celebrate that friendship, another friendship, that relationship that exists between our two great nations. The Prime Minister of Australia, Malcolm Turnbull, whom I'm representing today, regrets that he was unable to attend this morning, but he especially asked me to convey his warmest greetings and expression of appreciation and support for YWAM's continued work. Now, we all know that PNG has one of the most beautiful but challenging geographies in the world, from the mountains that make up the Bismarck Range to the islands in the Western Province. As Minister for Regional Development, Local Government and Territories here in Australia, I know the challenge, as many of you do, that comes with delivering services to remote communities. Now, YWAM's medical ships play an important role in the delivery, as we all know, of health services to communities right around Papua New Guinea's vast coastal regions. The Australian Government is proud to support YWAM and the great work that it does with PNG, with over $2 million provided in funding over the last couple of years, for example. In a globalised world, good relations between governments is no longer enough, ladies and gentlemen. Strong relations at an individual and a community level are absolutely essential, and that's certainly what we see being fostered through YWAM's continued work. That's why the federal government has developed initiatives like the new Colombo Plan, which is supporting young Australians to study and work throughout our entire region. And we're delighted that around 130 Australian undergraduates have already taken up the exciting opportunity to travel to PNG under this program. And it's consistent. It's consistent with the Deputy Prime Minister's own passion for education between our countries. The YWAM staff and volunteers who make up the mission, of course, are ambassadors for our country, and we are indeed proud. Can I say your support for local communities is adding to this reservoir of goodwill that exists between Australia and PNG. You are building the next generation of people-to-people links, those relationships to which I refer, that will continue to cement our friendship for decades to come. Your service reflects one of humanity's greatest qualities, a willingness to put the interests and well-being of others before your own, just as Bishop Kim said. I congratulate YWAM for your work, your outstanding achievements to date, and wish you every continued success, and certainly convey the support of the Australian Government and the Australian people for that continuing work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. We very much appreciate you being here today, and it's fantastic to see the partnerships that are being formed here in our city that are working with our nearest neighbours, and they're happening in a whole lot of places. Where's the Optus table? Where's Kingsley? There he is. I'm going to quickly go down there. I've, luckily enough, sorry to do this to the cameraman, he won't like me for that, taken on a little bit of a role as an ambassador with Optus here in Townsville and in North Queensland, and I know that Optus are doing some great stuff in our community. Great to see you here this morning, Kingsley. Tell us a little bit about the charity program that you guys are running now.
We have a charity mobile program, so if you sign up with Optus, you can, 5% of your bill actually goes to YWAM ship.
That is fantastic. So that's happening right here, right now, locally, yeah?
Yep, exactly. So at the Castletown store, or if you go to our charity mobile website, you can sign up and you can register your interest. If you're not out of contract, you can do that in the coming days.
Fantastic. Just say yes. Good on you. Thank you, Kingsley. Big round of applause to the team at Optus. You know, Beck, the thing we're learning is there are so many different ways that people can get involved in a partnership to be a part of what we're doing at YWAM.
That's right. I'm just amazed at the generosity of this city. You know, Minty, we next have the privilege of hearing from a very special man, very dear to YWAM Medical Ships. That's the Right Honourable Sir Robbie Namilu. He's the former Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and our PNG patron. He'll be sharing with us next. Please make him welcome.
Thank you very much, and good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the Papua New Guinea patron of the YWAM Medical Shifts Program, it is once again a tremendous privilege to join with the people of Townsville and beyond at this important annual celebration. It is a special pleasure this year to welcome our Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer, the Honourable Charles Abel. And on behalf of YWAM, I thank the Deputy Prime Minister for his strong support for YWAM activities right across our country, right across Papua New Guinea. I also welcome this morning our other guests who have travelled from Papua New Guinea to join with us this morning. I extend a warm welcome to the Honourable Sir Puka Temu, Minister for Health and HIV/AIDS. His ongoing support has also been instrumental in the YWAM success in Papua New Guinea. And I acknowledge the presence, obviously, of the Honourable Minister for Regional Development, Dr. John McVeigh. And of course, the Honourable Member for Leichhardt, Warren Hens, who's just been up, he and his wife has just been up to Daru just in the last week or so. And the Honourable Kathy O'Toole, Member for Herbert here in Townsville. It is just 8 years ago that the very first YWAM medical ships vessel sailed from Townsville to Papua New Guinea. A vessel small in size, but huge in impact. From the beginning, business, civil society, churches, and broader community of Townsville has shown its generous support, and the support has grown enormously year by year since then. The one simple, straightforward message I bring to you from Papua New Guinea this morning is one of total gratitude. I also thank the governments of Papua New Guinea and obviously the Commonwealth of Australia for the support that they've given to YWAM. It is support we could not do without. I personally believe that the YWAM Medical Shifts Program in Papua New Guinea has become one of the most profound links between our two countries and our peoples. We are neighbors and close and enduring friends. The YWAM program, represented by the networks gathered here, is a significant contributor to the enduring strength of the Papua New Guinea-Australia relationship. But it is much more than that. It saves lives, restores sight, addresses critical dental needs, improves health outcomes, upskills health workers, and provides basic health care for thousands of our people who otherwise would almost certainly not receive these services. And it does so in villages and communities close to Australia, with historic and modern day links with Townsville and North Queensland in particular. In just 8 years, the impact has been profound. We can all celebrate and press forward to achieve even more. Before I conclude and introduce our Deputy Prime Minister, I want to make one more observation. I'm immensely proud of the fact that 25% of personnel aboard YWAM today, aboard the YWAM ship outreaches in Papua New Guinea, are Papua New Guineans. And I'm certain my co-patron and by the way, that 25% has grown to that figure just in the last 8 years. So it's a tremendous achievement and one that we can all be proud of as well. I'm very certain that my co-patron, unfortunately, couldn't be here today, but nonetheless, the Honourable Mike Reynolds would, I'm sure, join me in congratulating Ken Mulligan and his whole team for nurturing key milestones such as this one. It's a wonderful reflection of the genuine engagement YWAM has with Papua New Guinea and our people. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your support for this most worthy cause. May it continue and grow. It is genuinely appreciated right across the nation by our people. It is now my privilege to introduce to you the Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer of Papua New Guinea, the Honourable Charles Abel. Our Deputy Prime Minister is in his third term in our Parliament, first elected in 2007. He was educated here in Queensland, in fact. St. Emmanuel Lutheran College on Sunshine Coast, and also graduated from the University of Queensland with a Bachelor of Economics degree. He has previously held the position of Minister for National Development, and in this role was instrumental in supporting the YWAM Medical Ships Program with the acquisition of the vessel MV YWAM Papua New Guinea, or PNG rather. We're all deeply grateful for his genuine and sustained support, and we look forward to hearing from him this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honourable Charles Abel, Deputy Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea.
Thank you so much, Sir Rabi Namalu, our former Prime Minister, and of course patron from Papua New Guinea to YWAM. Thank you for that wonderful word of encouragement. And good morning to you all. It's absolutely fantastic to finally be here at the YWAM campus in Townsville. And Ken, I know you've probably been doubting whether I'd actually ever turn up, but it's a testament to your persistence, Ken, in more ways than one, that we're here together celebrating this moment. And I thank you for that persistence and inviting me so many times, and my apologies it's taken me so long to get here. But I'm so pleased. It's absolutely wonderful that I'm here with our good Minister for Health, Dr. Sir Puka Temu, to be here on this occasion and celebrate with you and express our gratitude for the wonderful work that this mission has been doing. Of course, I just acknowledge quickly our distinguished guests that are here with us, the Honourable Dr. John McVeigh as well, Minister for Regional Development, Territories and Local Level Government, representing Prime Minister Honourable Malcolm Turnbull. Thank you as well for your comments this morning. The Honourable Warren Ench, Member for Leichhardt, Mrs. Cathy O'Toole, the Federal Member for Herbert. Of course, the Honourable Mike Reynolds, our good patron from Australia for YWAM Medical Ships. And of course, we also extend our heartfelt congratulations to Mike for the receipt of his CBE. Well worth it, and congratulations to Mike. I know he's off somewhere in another part of the world, but we acknowledge him and thank him very much for his support for YWAM as well. Bishop Timothy Harris, the Bishop of Townsville, Councillor Liz Schmidt, Mayor of Charters Towers, the elected councillors of the Townsville City Council. And I also want to acknowledge John Dawkins and Tom Hallis, who are part of the team that's come across visiting us from Hawaii and part of the founding team for YWAM. And I was so privileged to have John visit Millen Bay in Alotau, where I'm from, and express some of his words about the missionary spirit and foundations of YWAM. So we acknowledge you, John, and to all the other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the valued supporters and friends of YWAM. Of course, we have our students as well, representing many different countries around the world. Thank you all. Again, I'm so pleased as Deputy Prime Minister, together with our Health Minister, to be here today to join you for this Breakfast by the Sea in expressing our collective support for this wonderful, wonderful mission that is YWAM, and more specifically, the YWAM Medical Ship. As you probably know, Sir Puka and I have been long-time supporters of YWAM like many of you, and I want to express my thanks to you on behalf of myself, Sir Puka, of course Sir Rabi, and our country for this mission and all that has been done and will continue to be done for our country. Thank you to the people of Townsville for the special relationship through YWAM and business and rugby for having us. And of course, I look forward later in the day, to speaking to some of our business community, and of course, watching the mighty Cowboys play. I want to acknowledge our good Lord and the missionary spirit that has inspired the many fantastic people who have dedicated themselves to this venture. You have been moved to lives of service in mission and outreach to others in need of physical and spiritual need. This inspired effort is touching many thousands of lives in our country. It is a true manifestation of faith in action. And I mentioned the meeting up with John Dawkins at home. And as I was explaining to John, I also come from a missionary background. It was my great-grandfather that came with the London Missionary Society to Milne Bay and Papua New Guinea in 1890. So there is that common background there, and I'm very interested in the new book that John has been writing, as explained to me by Ken, in relation to some of that history and experience of the Melanesian mission that has happened. We look forward to that work and that knowledge. Your concept, YWAM, in bringing international medical professional equipment and medicines to people in our more remote areas that are lucky to see any services at all. You are shining a light into those areas, bringing hope and performing miracles. Simple things like restoring eyesight. Incredibly, most of you are volunteers, which is amazing. The involvement of local medical staff and training of other young Papua New Guineans on board the ship, as well as working through the existing medical network, is building capacity and transferring skills. As we speak, my daughter Nikki is on the MV Pacific Link in West New Britain, whilst on uni break, doing many good things for her country through YWAM. My whole family spent 2 weeks on the MV YWAM in Western Province, and I myself have spent a week on the ship as well in my district, and what a privilege. The YWAM teams of young people that make excursions out into the villages to help in practical ways and also share the experiences of faith is building relationships and creating valuable life experiences for our people and yours. So Puka was involved in bringing YWAM to Papua New Guinea at the outset, and he may have an opportunity to tell you some of that story a little later. For those in the audience today with a limited knowledge and understanding of my country, I would firstly encourage you all to visit Papua New Guinea to learn and appreciate firsthand the realities of my country, that whilst we do have many development challenges, we have a rich and diverse cultural tapestry with mountains, plains, islands, and seas blessed with renewable and non-renewable resources. As a former Minister for National Planning and Monitoring, I became acutely aware of our alarming health indicators, ranging from infant or maternal mortality rates, healthcare professionals per capita, or average hours travelled by island or rural communities to primary or secondary healthcare facilities. We had to become more innovative in our approach to health delivery, and a possibility was to look to strategic partnerships. One of the programs we reviewed at the National Planning Department was the Church Partnership Program, which unfortunately, like many of the programs during the commodities boom time of the 4 or 5 years leading up to 2010, had become like slush funds being arbitrarily dispensed to all and sundry. The revitalised Church Partnership Program that we redesigned was intended to support churches involved in education and health services to get better value for money and improve service delivery. We wanted to support organisations that had a demonstrated track record and commitment to the cause. When YWAM approached with the concept of a bigger ship to complement the MV Pacific Link, it seemed like an obvious fit. We arranged 5.5 million kina from the Church Partnership Program to support the purchase of MV YWAM, and our Prime Minister, Honourable Peter O'Neill, and I welcomed the new MV YWAM to Port Moresby on the 21st of April 2015. And I must say it is probably the best value for money investment we have made in health services. In total, with contributions from provinces and districts, we have invested some 15 million kina in YWAM since 2010. I take this opportunity again to commend our former Prime Minister, Sir Rabi Namaliu, for recognising YWAM and committing his time as patron from Papua New Guinea. Well done, Sir Rabi. We, of course, have provided funds to other church health services from the Church Partnership Program and also fund recurrent costs of church health staff and services at 120 million kina per annum. Separately, we have supported third-level airlines such as Mission Aviation Fellowship through the establishment of the Rural Airstrips Authority, which was proposed by them to support the maintenance of rural airstrips serviced by third-level airlines. The Mission Aviation Fellowship is another example of a wonderful partner with a long-term commitment to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, since first taking office in 2011, my government, or our government, led by Honourable Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, has provided unprecedented increased levels of funding to health and education. In alignment with our Vision 2050, STARS program, our medium-term development plans, and the recent Alotau Accords 1 and 2, we have improved our coordination with donors and integration of donor funding with our national budgets. Our aim is to make better use of funds, lower transaction costs, and smooth the transition from donor to national government expenditure. In 2018, the health sector has been allocated 1.5 billion kina, which is 10.2% of the total budget. As Sir Puka has also been emphasising, that increase in funding, and our government remains focused on delivering an efficient and effective health system that achieves internationally acceptable standards of health service that are accessible by the people across the country. A wonderful aspiration, but as you know, we're a long way from getting there. On Wednesday this week, I, together with Sir Puka, President, signed a US $195 million funding package from the Asian Development Bank, which includes $100 million in budget support funding for the first time in some 30 years in terms of concessional funding. Going back to budget support, this US $100 million is part of a US $300 million three-year multi-tranche financing facility in budget support for health services. Some of these funds will be used to leverage Global Fund grant funding, and we will be utilising procurement support from the Global Fund to improve the delivery and cost of drugs, particularly for TB, HIV, and malaria. Minister Temu is driving an integration of the provincial health systems under the Provincial Health Authority concept and act, which combines provincial hospitals and the provincial health divisions under one board and one structure. Rural health services are complemented by funds to provinces and districts through the Service Improvement Program from the national government. Indeed, 9 million kina of the aforementioned 15 million kina contributed to YWAM has been made through provincial and district SIP allocations. And in this year's budget, a specific allocation of 1.5 million kina has been made from our national budget to support the maintenance of YWAM's vessels and setting up for the deployment and delivery of the 2018 outreaches. In conjunction with our increased health financing, we have undertaken reviews and audits to improve the modes and efficiencies of health services. We have and continue to make record investments in infrastructure, such as the development of the Medical University, the YWAM School of Nursing, rehabilitation of the sole existing nursing college, major works in hospitals in Lorengau, Angau, the Angau Memorial Hospital and Cancer Unit, the provincial hospital in Goroka, Port Moresby General Hospital, and including the Cancer and Heart Institute, Gerahu Hospital, Kupiano, in Sir Puka's electorate, and the WIWAC Hospital, or the Boram Hospital in WIWAC. Tendering of 3-year contracts for supply of medicines and health service kits. By year's end, we will also have delivered 32 community health posts with the support of the ADB and Australian Aid. I'd also like to point out that the Department of Community Development, along with 25 million kina from the Australian DFAT, is getting 40 million kina, primarily for programs associated with gender equality, gender-based violence, and awareness on sorcery-related violence, TB and HIV. We have also committed several million kina to improving policies on nutrition, supply chain reform, and improving monitoring and reporting. In conjunction with the World Bank and ADB, we are elevating the population growth issue through increasing access to family planning. Separately, in terms of partnerships, the STARS program has sponsored Murray Stopes and Rotary Australia in their family planning and sexual and reproductive health programs. Some detail which I think many of you are well aware of: since 2010, YWAM has delivered more than 1 million healthcare services and training to some of the most remote locations in Papua New Guinea. These collaborative efforts with our own district health teams engaged over 28,000 rural patients in 2017 alone, and already over 19,000 so far this year. In recent years, through just one part of the YWAM program, more than 980 blind men, women, and children in remote areas have received sight restoration surgery. Amazing and wonderful. Townsville surgeons, nurses, optometrists, and many other supporters have played an important part in that achievement. On top of that, more than 38,000 people have accessed general optometry services to get corrective glasses to restore their everyday sight. The PNG and YWAM partnership is also improving immunisation coverage, installing solar lights at health facilities, ensuring medical store shelves are stocked, family planning options provided in remote areas, literally saving the lives of women and children. Excruciating tooth pain is gone, well, not gone completely, but certainly it's being alleviated, and rural health workers equipped to take on the emergency extractions themselves. There is training to improve access to clean water for our people, also land-based youth training. In my hometown of Alotau, YWAM have partnered with our community to deliver short training courses to 660 young people in 2017. And perhaps a more telling and pleasing result, as Sir Rabi has explained, is that now up to 25% of people aboard a YWAM ship are Papua New Guinean. I want to specifically acknowledge our people who are putting their hands and skills and hearts into action. So I'm here today, ladies and gentlemen, to say thank you to you all who have contributed in one way or other to this partnership, and to please give generously to the cause so it may continue. Separately, as I close, I want to inform you that we have offered land, and John is well aware of this, John Dawkins, that we have offered land in Alotau Township, quite valuable land in the heart of town, similar to this beautiful campus here in Townsville, to YWAM to establish a University of Nations campus. And I look forward to progressing this concept. You'll see in some of the media today from Papua New Guinea some of my comments in relation to the engagement on education with the Australian government, and which I think can be greatly ramped up, especially on a people-to-people basis, scholarship basis, and I will be raising those concerns when I go to Canberra next week. So in closing, I just want to emphasize, our country is so grateful to people like Ken and Robin, and to the whole YWAM team and the whole YWAM concept. We think it's a beautiful concept with the volunteers and the engagement and the people-to-people and the services it is delivering to remote areas of Papua New Guinea. And we are so thankful, and we want to continue this partnership in the name of our people of Papua New Guinea. Those people who are suffering, those people who don't have access to a doctor, to a dentist, basic services, and let's be frank, there are many people in Papua New Guinea, unfortunately, who are still in that situation. And we appreciate all the help from the Australian people and the Australian government, and we appreciate YWAM so much. We appreciate Townsville. Let's continue to grow this relationship, in particular with Townsville here today. I'm so pleased to come back here. I know Sir Puka's first time to visit Townsville, and what a beautiful city, what a beautiful campus, and what a beautiful supporting community you all are. And this is our mission together, the YWAM mission, and let's continue it into the future together. May God bless you all. Don't forget, please come and visit Papua New Guinea. This is the year of APEC for us, a big and exciting year for Papua New Guinea and the region, including Australia. God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Deputy Prime Minister. It's an inspiration to hear what's happening in Papua New Guinea. We're grateful you could be here and for your leadership today.
Wow, what a morning. It's inspirational. It's something that just makes you stop and think. And we are going to have some entertainment for you right now. Look at these microphones just appear from nowhere. I love it. We have got our Performing Arts and Celebration team coming back. These guys under the leadership of Retta Moses and production by Jamie Lee and Jagger, who are some of PNG's top producers. They are going to entertain you right now. Something very, very special that they've done for us here today. And I think for me, Rebecca, it sort of enhances the story we've been talking about. Absolutely. Why it's all here, why we're doing this. At the end of that, we'll show you a fabulous video, again, about the great work that's being done, just to think about how you can donate financially to the ongoing work that YWAM does. I'm going to stop talking now because we want to see this performance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back our Performing Arts and Celebration team.
Tillsammans kan vi Gemeinsam schaffen wir das.
You may sign up on time.
我们一起可以。
Yellow bata, tumay dua bata.
Hatupa Kanda Edmen.
Juntos podemos.
Sienga Kwenza Ingo Jesu.
Ia tato a wai whaatasi mawhai. Together we can.
I hear the sound of my people echo from a distant shore. Moving is one in the spirit of a lasting colors come alive. Let the rhythm take control over the hills and the valleys we go. We advance in the core. Now it's time to show the world. We will fly.
They say Papua New Guinea is the hardest place to deliver healthcare in the world because of our isolation. Over 80% of our people live in rural areas. I've felt this isolation as I have fought for women and their babies. Sometimes we improvise with what we have available to us. Sometimes we can arrange emergency transport to a hospital. Sometimes we simply pray. YWAM started coming to our province 4 years ago, working alongside our team to help deliver health services and training to remote communities. Their coming reminds me we are not alone. Together we can see change.
Most amazing disease we have seen was filariasis or elephantiasis. Most of us have seen a picture while we were in medical school and never again. Rare condition limits the people's ability to walk. It becomes hard. They have huge feet which look like elephant feet, and that's where the name comes from. We called the ship and they found in the pharmacy of the ship a load of the medication and sent it over. And we gave it to the local nurse, explaining exactly how to use it. We gave a drug named albendazole to every child in the village, which will prevent the spread of filariasis.
I met a young girl this morning with her mother, and she had multiple sores on her legs. She was seen by the doctor, and then the doctor asked me to look after her wounds, and they're related to mosquito bites. And she's been scratching them madly because obviously they're itchy. It's typical areas of the body that are uncovered when we're asleep or during the day, and she has gone crazy scratching them. So I cleansed them with betadine, I put some Gelinet on them, some non-stick dressing, and then I actually bandaged them up. If we hadn't have looked after those, they would have become severely infected and she could have developed cellulitis, and if cellulitis is not treated, that can go on to actually, in a child that age, cause very, very high temperatures, even death. So the role of what we do here is amazingly important.
Okay, Boss Mary told us, he said, "Sister, there's a need. I want to transfer you to Bamio. Do you want to go?" And I said, yes. I said, I asked the Lord, where there is a need, send me. And that is the reason why I am here.
This hospital was built by Bamio community. Mothers and fathers, they came together and worked with their own bush materials, what they have used in their homes.
When I first came, I stopped at the waterfront and the skipper in language said, this is a nest that is going to work in here. And they washed my legs. I said, no, I'm not a very special, don't wash my legs. No, we will wash them. And I had tears in my eyes, I was crying.
Community take care of her by giving food, what they have in their home, whatever we have in the community, people used to give.
Since I came in year 2014, I was using torchlight to help the mothers and the sick people. And in year 2016, the YWAM boat came, and when they put on this solar light for me, it's easy for me to help the patients and look after them with this light.
This is a small picture into some of the amazing Papua New Guinean healthcare workers working tirelessly for a better future. Today, you can be a part of that picture by strengthening these partnerships. $350 can provide medical treatment for 10 people. $750 can provide training and support for a healthcare worker. $1,800 can provide a health facility with solar power, or you can provide all three for $2,900. Your gift has the power to change lives. Give your tax-deductible donation today.
What tells me that you were moved by that is everyone was so quiet. And you can't help but be confronted by the images, but also the dedication of those incredible women, the working together that we see in that video. It highlights the incredible work that YWAM is doing. And I think with a breakfast like this, I love the fact that it's Australia, it's Townsville, it's PNG, it's neighbours working together for the betterment. And that in itself is something very, very special. And you can help us today. We know that PNG historically has had a lot to do with Australia, and today it's our chance to show just how much. And that's what we want to do today, Rebecca. And I know as a mum, I see you sitting back there as well. And
Getting teary-eyed back there.
yeah, and you're touched by what you see up there.
Oh my goodness. You know, you think of your kid has a mozzie bite. It's pretty easy to take care of, and to end up like that, we need to do something about that. And to see the commitment of this rural health workforce and what they're doing, what, you know, the sister is given to go and move there, and the community building a house for her. What can we do to help? And there's so many like her. You know, she represents many, many people working really hard in some of the most remote places on earth. Absolutely inspirational.
And the thing about it is, it takes money. Let's just go back through some of those figures again. I want to remind you, $350 can provide 10 antenatal checks. $750 can provide training and support for a local health worker. $1,800 can provide a solar suitcase to a clinic, and we saw how important that is. $2,900, all of the above. So the question is, what can you give today? Remembering, it's all fully tax deductible.
Yeah, that's right. We're just going to ask you, we want to make it as easy as possible to give this morning. And on your tables, if you look in the middle, you'll see some pledge cards, some pens, some envelopes. If you could just pass those around your table right now, we're going to take just a moment to consider what your part is. We heard from Optus. There's many different creative ways to give. We've got people who have volunteered or planning to volunteer. It's just what can you do today? You know, I think all of our hearts are moved. What's our response to that?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? There are creative ways. There are lots of things that you can do. And that's the thing. Have a chat to the people you're sitting with. What are the creative ways that you can help out today? And of course, in addition to finances, you may want to volunteer, give a gift in kind, or maybe, of course, those amazing LED signs that we see on the front of the building here. What a fantastic building it is. And those screens have been a great addition, haven't they?
Yeah, they're to serve the community and make community announcements, but all the proceeds actually goes toward funding the work of YWAM. Not a lot of people know that. So sponsorship for business and giving back to the community.
So get creative. All right. It's important now we work our way through how people can help. Rebecca, you might like to just run through some of the very important information.
I'd love to. So just at the top of the card, you'll see if you'd like to donate today, we've made it really easy to tick a box if there's one of those 4 areas that you'd like to give toward. But if you have another amount in mind, maybe less, we're totally fine if it's more as well. You can just put that in the other box. Any amount is so appreciated. Anything over $2 is tax deductible today. If you'd like to give a gift in kind, I know we've had Puma Energy up here. They supply the fuel for the ship. So an amazing way to support. It's just an incredible partnership there, fueling the journeys that get there. So you may have, your business has a resource that you know would be valuable to what's happening in PNG. Volunteers, Minty mentioned before, you can click that there and our team will get in touch with you. There's many ways to make your payment today as well. We do have FPOS in reception. If you're comfortable writing your credit card numbers on here, we have the facility to take that as well. And if you'd like to get us in touch with us about direct deposit, that's a possibility. And then we would just love to have your contact details. So your title, your name, surname, what company or organization you're representing, and your contact details as well. So please be filling that out. When you're finished filling that out, we have servers right around. If you hold it up, they will come and grab that from you this morning. So we've got that from you. So as you finish filling out your card, could you just begin to hold that up? And our servers are making their way now. They will come to you and grab those.
And we also want your feedback as well. If you can help us out with feedback from the morning. To be fair, I think all of us here, being a part of this morning, think we've done a pretty bloody good job. But we'd like to get your feedback and know what you think. If there's anything you'd like to add on this morning, we'd love to get that feedback as well this morning, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's right. We really would like to hear new location. We're really excited about the expansion and having that here. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, a couple of other things. As I said, think about what you can do. Is it creative? What other great things you can do to help out? Also, don't forget, we've had some fabulous local sponsors and local businesses give us some great door prizes that we'll draw a little bit later, and we'll be in touch with those people who win those fantastic prizes. To those businesses that donated, we say a massive big thank you to you as well.
A huge thank you. So around your tables, take as much time as you need this morning. And again, at any point, please begin to hold those up. The servers, I can see them out there now collecting them. Take as much time as you need to fill those out. And we may introduce our next speaker as you're doing that. Again, please feel free to pass them as they do. But
yeah, most certainly. Please do that. And a very inspirational speaker again, Rebecca. And that's what I love about this morning. We've had some wonderful people speaking.
Incredible.
I'd love to hear this introduction. I'm looking forward to this.
That's right. So next up, we have the Honorable Dr. Supuka Temu. He's the PNG Minister for Health, HIV, AIDS, and he'll be sharing a few words with us. Please make him welcome.
Thank you very, very much, and good morning, all Geta. Very good morning to every one of you. I am really pleased and very honored to join our Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Charles Abel, and our own PNG patron of YWAM Medical Ships here in this beautiful town, particularly amongst you lovely people. And this is one of the largest breakfast meetings I have ever attended. And congratulations to those who have organized this wonderful, wonderful occasion. I am here to join Ken and the team to acknowledge the enormous contribution that the YWAM medical ships have made to the health of our people, in particular the rural majority, 84% of our citizens living in villages throughout the country. As we have seen the wonderful videos, the presentations in some of the most remote part of the country. I join our Deputy Prime Minister in expressing our enormous gratitude to the network and the team gathered here with strong commitment to support Papua New Guinea health. I thank you, every one of you, for waking up so early in the morning and coming and filling all the tables in the name of providing better health to our people in Papua New Guinea. I want to acknowledge that the enormous support provided by our own young Papua New Guineans. We've been told that a quarter of the team in the boat are from Papua New Guinea, and I can say that you are an inspiration in your generation and also to me as well. And I salute every one of you that are participating in this very, very important mission in providing health to our rural communities. I acknowledge the strong partnership with our rural health workers. In innovative partnerships, we find smart solutions. And this is a God-given mission, and the partnerships that we have developed through delivering healthcare is giving us the solutions that we in government have looked for a long, long time. We look forward to continuing to work together to see more hope and life in our lives. The presentations that have been made are making a very, very impact to the health outcomes of our rural communities. This is a very, very good start, but there is much more to be achieved together. Let's learn from what has been achieved to date. Let's strategize and network and continue to build forward. Let's continue to see life improve for our village women and children in even greater numbers. Let's see more Papua New Guinea health workers trained to get the job done in the rural places. And let's promote health, let's protect health, and let's provide health for Papua New Guinea children. And on behalf of our people, a sincere thank you for your sustained friendship. We look ahead with great hope. God bless every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Once again, inspirational words, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up this morning. We do have a fantastic performance, but before we do that, it wouldn't be a breakfast by the sea without hearing from someone who I believe is also very, very inspirational. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please now welcome YWAM Medical Ships Managing Director, Ken Mulligan, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Minnie. Quite emotional, actually. Wonderful, wonderful morning. So just thinking about all that we've been able to achieve with the help of many people and the friends that are in this gathering today. I could go through all the acknowledgements, but I won't. But I am very grateful. It's wonderful to have the Deputy Prime Minister here very much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you also for the Minister for Health, many other people. I was thinking about some of our journey actually, and thinking about all that we've been through. And we came to a critical point in 2014 as we're about to buy, or actually hope to buy, the new ship we have. And I was at a gathering, and we're actually at a fundraiser, and then at that point the Minister for Planning came in, Charles Abel, and he looked at a model ship that we were trying to promote, and Sarabi had helped host the night with Into Oil. And it was a fundraising event in Port Moresby, but it was just, we had only a few weeks to raise, well, the rest of $5 million to secure the ship. It was quite a challenge. A lot of pressure on a lot of people. And I remember Charles saying to me, "How much do you need?" And I said, "We need 1.6 million to get the ship across the line." And didn't say too much more. And then he went up the front of the fundraising event and delivered a speech and presented a cheque for 1.6 million on that night. We raised 6.12 million on that one night in Papua New Guinea. And it just shows you the commitment of the people of Papua New Guinea behind this wonderful project. And together we actually can do, and we already are, achieving much through the wonderful support. Again, Deputy Prime Minister, it's wonderful to have you. Just to, well, in some of your words, to finally get you here. But it's a joy to have you, and I look forward to having you here many other times, actually. It's a joy. But moving on from that, as time is precious, I do want to really just say thank you for everyone coming and for your involvement. Thank you.
We echo Ken's words. Thank you so much for being here, and so many of you represent a long history of making this a reality and really special friendships and partnerships. We are going to conclude this morning with one more item for you. We realize we're at 8:30 now, so if you do need to go, you can make your way in just a moment. If you'd like a tour and you can stay, over here on these stairs, they're waving at you now. These guys will help show you the facility. I know many of you probably did TAFE here, and you might like to see some of the changes that have happened. We'd love to show you around and give you a bit of insight about what's going on. Also, if you still have a pledge card, you can leave it at reception or make your donation there. And other than that, thanks for a fabulous morning. It's been absolutely inspirational. Minty, you're amazing.
Thank you so much, everybody. Big round of applause for Rebecca as well.
Minty.
Guys are awesome.
Amazing.
Just quickly, I want to say thank you to Daryl Holmes from 1300 Smiles who introduced me to these incredible people just on a year ago. Daryl, thank you so much. I know the work you do, and inspirational is even a word that can't describe the work that goes on. I think you saw it in Ken's face right there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this morning, for giving to YWAM. We're going to finish with an amazing performance, and I love this. It's called It's Good to Be Alive. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Friday.
Thanks so much.
Go the Cowboys.
Oh, it's so good to be alive. Oh, it's so good to be alive. I believe that we can be free. Freedom is ours. We're standing as one. Let the light inside of your heart be burning so bright for all the world to see. Keep burning so bright for all the world to see. Oh, it's so good to be alive. Oh, it's so good to be alive. Good to be alive. Oh, it's so good to be alive. Let's rejoice, all arise, and let's go, guys. Clap your hands in the air. Woo! Let's go. Hey. Yes, we can, together as one. Let's rejoice, all arise. Take my hand. Don't think twice. Together.
We got a little remix for you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey! Hey!
Tell me you really want to let the pit crippling out of your body. On the conqueror, cause I am a warrior, commander of my own fate, an ambassador without that.
Let's go!
Forever in gratitude.
Come on!
Growing in fortitude. It's changing my attitude. I don't wanna be rude, but how about you?
Hey!
Growing in fortitude. It's changing my attitude. Forever in gratitude. I don't wanna be rude, but how about you?
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey! Come on! Put your hands up in the air! Put your hands up in the air! Jump in the air! Put your hands up in the air! Let's go! It's good to be alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everybody involved in the 2018 YWAM Breakfast by the Sea, thank you so much for coming. Have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.